law enforcement, I'm really sorry this happened this way. You want to know what I think?
Yes, I do.
Do you? I think your behavior is self-destructive. I think it's outrageous. I think it's often criminal. I think it's illegal in so many different ways. I think it's assault. I think it's battery. I think it's drunk driving. I think it's violating drug laws. I think it's reckless. I think it's endangering. I think it's pathological. I think it is so many things that are absolutely outrageous, out of control, and over the top, and it absolutely has to stop. I think it's completely outrageous and out of control. And I don't ask myself why you're behaving that way. I ask myself why not. I ask myself why not. I'd look at what you have been through and are going through, and I actually think I would do the same damn thing you're doing. I really do. I am so sorry that you have been through what you've been through and are going through what you are going through. I don't even know how to tell you. You say nobody listens to you, nobody gets it, nobody understands. Look me in the eye. I do. You are screaming for help so loud, you are so frustrated, you don't even know what to do. And I want to look at some tape here.
Get out of my face! Get out of my face! Why are you doing that?
Because you're
Let go of me!
Stop. No. Okay, that's fine. Sit right there. Oh my. Hey, David, can you watch the pasta, please?
Okay, rack it back to the top with Dad. Stop. What in the hell are you doing?
I'm just
seriously. You want my help, you really
I
do.
do,
So you've got to be willing to hear the truth.
Absolutely.
You know you have someone here that is volatile. You know you have someone here that has a difficult time with authority, has a difficult time with confrontation, has a difficult time with modulating her anger, and so you want to get up in her face and say, "What are you doing? What do you expect her to do?" You couldn't provoke her anymore if you put her in a cage and poked her with a stick. What the hell are you doing here?
I'm just trying to get her attention.
Oh, you got it.
I did.
You can't tell me that you don't realize this is going to bring about a confrontation that is explosive.
I know it is.
And let me ask you something. There's a point during that tape where you're talking to her and you're in her face and then you slide around to the side and you whisper in her ear. What are you saying in her ear?
I'm not going to win this. Who do you think you are?
I tell her I love her sometimes.
That's not what you told me that day.
Sometimes I try to shock her with something to
Get a reaction out of me? Yeah, you sure did.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Because I did not tell him that I sent this video, because I just kept it a secret because I'm thinking, this is what's happening. He gets in her face. He doesn't even realize it.
So you scream at her and then you slide around to the side and whisper in her ear. Are you trying to make her insane? No. That's called double bind. That's a message where you say, get back, come here. Get back, come here. Get back, come here. That's a prelude to schizophrenia. That's what the message you give a child that confuses them. It says, get away, come here. Get away, come here. Get away, come here. They don't know. It's what's called a schizophrenogenic parent. It's very confusing. Now, okay, this is Josh, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, you can stop that right there. So now we're going to have a wrestling match. We've got somebody that we know is volatile, violent, and physical, so we're going to engage in a wrestling match.
I
Seriously? And then we say, we don't know why she's acting this way. We don't know why she's acting this way. And then we've got the clip of her in the van and up screaming and yelling in her face in the van. And then
I don't have the answers, Dr. Phil.
there aren't any. You know why you don't have it? Because you can't make sense out of nonsense. That's why you don't have any answers for that. And didn't you tell me in here that at one point you were trying to talk to her and you were chasing her? Okay, you got your wrist slammed in the door.
Yes.
Yeah. This is after you're chasing her.
No.
Yes,
When
she
she
ran out to
Okay.
when she ran out the door and I got my wrist slammed, then she was screaming down the street. I didn't want her to hurt herself, so I followed her, and then we ended up sitting on the curb, and I ended up talking her down and calming her down.
And you were chasing her.
Well, I was following her. Yeah.
Was she running?
I don't remember if she was running.
Was she eluding you? Getting away from you? Trying to escape you?
That's what my parents have always told me. They say, Danielle, if you get mad, go on a walk. But then whenever I try to go on a walk, they both follow me, especially my dad. And I tell him, Dad, I need to go on a walk. I need to calm down. And he'll go, get your ass in this house. It's his favorite thing to do is snap at me like I'm a freaking dog.
I don't have to ask you how that makes you feel.
Gets me pissed. I don't like getting treated like one of his little Marines. I'm not a Marine. I'm a girl. I'm a daughter. I am his daughter. And he doesn't have to snap at me like that.
Laura says the scariest moment was when Danielle was angry because she took her cell phone away. Danielle became irate, threw the cell phone against the wall and put a hole through it. When she chased after Danielle, she says Danielle slammed the door on her hand and almost broke it. Why would you chase an 18-year-old?
Because I didn't want her to hurt herself running down the street.
So you chase her into the street.
Well, she was on the sidewalk. We live on a dead end.
Really?
I care about my daughter.
Does it seem reasonable that you guys are engaging in this kind of physical antics here?
At that point, right there.
So you're
this
here to
was the
defend
start.
this?
No.
You're not here to change this.
No,
you're
I'm
here
definitely
to defend
here to
this.
change this.
You're parenting correctly. You're here to defend it.
I'm not here to defend it.
Then what are you doing right now?
I'm trying to tell you. When that happened, it was at the very beginning of her massive downward spiral.
No, it wasn't.
When she was 18?
No, it wasn't. This massive downward spiral started a long time before that. And it wasn't your fault. And it wasn't your fault. This started a long time ago. You guys have just been trying to manage it and you didn't know how to do it.
That's true. Very true.
This isn't about placing blame. It's about figuring out responsibility and what to do.
Absolutely.
You are a loving and caring mother. I'm not trying to say you're not. This started a long time ago. You just got in over your head really fast.
Started when she was 7.
It started to show itself at 7. It started even before that.
Yeah. I would agree.
Is there something deeper going on here with Danielle? You damn right there is. And it's multifaceted. One element of it is so traumatic, she just cannot get past it. And I wouldn't be able to either. We're going to talk about that next because it's time. It's this girl's turn. It's time for her to have a voice.
Dr. Phil is alluding to some things here that I was thinking in part 1. I kept saying in part 1, what has she been through? Because it seems like she's been through something. We still don't know what she's been through. Dr. Phil is alluding to it happening at a very, very early age, long before the age of 7. So I'm assuming there's some sort of abuse or something. What I can say thus far is that their method of screaming in her face, especially her dad screaming in her face and getting physical with her, and then her guy friend dragging her around physically, I don't see how that's helpful. I think that would just be terrifying and keep the energy high and intense and keep the rage going.
I'm back with David and Laura and their daughter Danielle and Caroline, who actually wrote in. And I hope the day comes when you thank her very much for reaching out and getting you this help. Something horrific happened to you when you were 19.
Yeah.
May I have your permission to talk about that?
I give you permission?
Okay, because I wouldn't violate your privacy without.
No, it's totally okay.
Okay, all
We're
right.
here for everything.
You understand why I asked. I wouldn't just
Yes,
do that.
I understand.
Let's take a look at this.
I don't trust men. Part of the reason is when I was 19, I was raped by 2 men. I was passed out. They tagged my body. They wrote with Sharpie their names all over me, and all I remember is saying no and crying. I never really got help for it. I reported it to the police. My father went with me, and then they told me, sorry, we can't help you. Not in our district. Get help elsewhere. After they had already had me explain all the nasty that had happened to me in front of my dad. Once they said that to me, I took my phone and I started bashing my head, and I broke the screen and I snapped it in half, and I tried getting the pieces and I tried cutting my legs up. I lose myself. I get lost in myself.
On behalf of the adult generation, the mental health profession, law enforcement, if nobody has apologized to you for the manner in which this was mishandled and the manner in which it wasn't handled afterwards, let me just say on behalf of everybody involved, I'm really sorry this happened this way. I'm sorry it happened to you. I'm sorry it was handled the way it was handled after it did. And I'm sorry the right steps haven't been taken since it did happen, but that's going to change today. But I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay? That's just terrible. That's just terrible. And there's one thing you won't hear me say today, and that's I know how you feel. Because if you haven't been through what you've been through, to be violated in that way, to have your body violated, have them write on you and file you in that way, and then to be made to recount that in front of your father. I'm sorry you had to hear all of that. I know you wanted to kill somebody when that happened, but to have to do that and you sit there and hear that, and then they say, oh, well, not our district, can't help you. Goodbye. It just, what the hell? I mean, seriously, what the hell is going on? And then so you're left to deal with that. And while I can't tell you that I know how you feel, I can tell you that I have talked to many, many survivors of assault and abuse. And I know that one of the reactions is a sense of helplessness and powerlessness and rage and devaluation, that they tend to begin to self-medicate to kill the pain. There's a high incidence of cutting and the things that you're doing, of high incidence of beginning to take high-risk behaviors because there's a devaluation, like I don't care what happens to me. At this point, a tendency to define themselves as, well, this is just what I'm worth. It's just I've been violated and I'll never be okay again. It leaves a gaping, horrible wound. And for you, that's never been attended to. It's never been healed. It's never even been acknowledged. And when I see you raging and I see you reacting to authority and to men and this kind of snap here and a Marine type father, you're paying for the sins of others. It's not that you're an evil guy. You're paying for the sins of others. And it's just, I'm sorry. Do you hear me? You deserve better than that. And when I said I don't ask myself why you're behaving this way, I ask myself why not. You can think about that for 10 seconds and you're right back there, aren't you?
I have nightmares about it sometimes. And it sucks because I feel helpless and I feel like I can't move. And I've taken so many years of martial arts just to feel helpless. I've taken years. I've taken Taekwondo, I've taken karate, I've taken Kung Fu. And I still wasn't able to protect myself in that situation. And it breaks my heart because I couldn't even do anything. They were too strong. At the same time, there were two men. They tagged my body everywhere. They tagged everything. They wrote on me with Sharpie. They wrote their names. And I just remember waking up and looking at myself in the mirror and feeling, did I do this to myself? And thinking, how did I let this happen? How am I going to tell my dad? How am I going to tell my boyfriend? Did I just cheat on my boyfriend? Is this my fault because I came? Is it my fault because I drank? Is it my fault because I trusted somebody and I don't trust anyone anymore? And it sucks because I want to. I want to so bad. But at the same time, I don't. I hate everybody. I hate myself. There are times where I just want to die. There are times where I just want to stop breathing. Times where I just want to kill myself. But I said if I were to ever kill myself, I know my family would be so hurt. So that's why I just hurt myself. So they wouldn't have to pay for a funeral. I hate men. That's one of the reasons I became a dancer, so I can manipulate them and use them and take their money. I hate them. And it sucks because I don't want to hate my dad. And I don't want to hate Josh. And I want to be able to have friends. But I can't trust anybody anymore. I can't even trust myself.
When we started this conversation, I said, what if this is the day that you can find your way back? This is the day that you can find your way back to you, that you can find your way back to trusting and being part of your family with your mother and your father and trusting and loving yourself.
I hate myself, Dr. Phil. I hate myself. I hate myself so much. That's one of the reasons I do drink is because I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel it. I'd rather get away. I'd rather run away from the pain or the anger or the sadness. I'd rather run away. And I even taught myself sometimes to just completely block it out of my head. And that coping skill has got me nowhere.
You're somewhere very different right now than you thought you'd be when you got here, though, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I have a plan. You want to hear it?
I do.
So where does this lovely young girl go from here? Where does this young woman go? Where does this family go? I'm going to tell them with great specificity after break.
So now we know what has happened to Danielle. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Everything that Dr. Phil said about what happens when you experience an assault like this is absolutely true. I'm a survivor myself, so I definitely relate to Danielle on many different levels. I never acted out in the exact ways that she acts out or to such a degree that she has been acting out, but I understand that it comes from a real place of trauma. I hope now that people can at least have some understanding of where Danielle is coming from and have some compassion and empathy for her because she definitely deserves it.
I'm talking to 21-year-old Danielle, who has been arrested twice, drinks and smokes while driving, and beats up anyone who makes her mad. She's been stopped by the police 6 or 8 times in addition to being arrested. She says she's been diagnosed with ADHD, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and told she is OCD. Danielle says all she wants is to be treated like a normal person, even though she admits she certainly doesn't act like one.
Ever since I was a child, I feel like I've been treated differently because of the medications I've had to take, the therapy sessions I've had to go to.
When Danielle was about 7 years old, the doctor said that she believed Danielle was bipolar, had anger disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder, and prescribed us with a medication.
I've taken Danielle to a psychiatrist. Recently, the psychiatrist believes she may have dual personality disorder.
I really don't want to go to therapy. Straight up, I don't believe that they could help. I'm tired of therapists saying, but how do you feel? I don't know what I feel, so I can't tell you how I feel.
They put you on Ritalin when you were 7.
And Zoloft.
And yeah, I'm getting to that. It's an interesting study, a very longitudinal study that's just come out that people that are put on Ritalin before the age of 23 have a very toxic reaction brain-wise compared to people that are put on it after 23, because the brain is still developing before 23. And this is a major, major finding that is going to impact the treatment of ADD and ADHD, and it can create what is known as an iatrogenic illness. And an iatrogenic illness is an illness that is made worse. The results of the adverse effects of diagnostic and treatment process, which means it's made worse by the treatment. You have something wrong, and the treatment makes what's wrong worse than it was before you treated it. And so the fact that you haven't gotten better across time, you say that you're hearing voices at age 7, and so they treat you for ADHD?
They always told me I just had an overactive imagination.
Well, seriously? You're hearing voices and they treat you for ADHD? Where'd they get their degree at Sears? That doesn't even almost make sense. And that doesn't mean that you're psychotic by any stretch. I'm not saying that. But I don't know what is going on. But we need to find out. I think you're very intelligent. I think you have found ways to survive. You're still here. Through everything you've been through, at 21, you're still here. Before appearing on the show, we ask every guest what question they have for me. Danielle's question was, how is Dr. Phil different from everyone else I've seen in the past? Well, hopefully I can show her the answer to that question when we come back. I'm back talking to Danielle and 3 people here that care a lot about her in spite of her conduct. And I said something you didn't expect to hear today, which was that I'm on your side. I get it. I said, I don't judge your behavior. I don't ask myself why you're doing what you're doing. I ask myself, why not? I would do that and more. Hell, I totally get it. What I want you to do is not feel like you need to do that and have different ways to express yourself. And part of this is a matter of some bad parenting. You do the best you know how to do at the time, right?
Absolutely.
And you're a Marine and a very successful Marine. And by the way, thank you for your service. twice, and for 28 years. Seriously, thank you for your service. Being a Marine is not a job; it's a way of life. And sometimes it's hard to separate the Corps from the family, and you just are who you are, and you've taken what works there home, and it doesn't work at home, even almost. But you've done what you know how to do, and the fact is that you're a very loving father. You have to give him credit. He's on Dr. Phil. Dad's on Dr. Phil. It's the last place he wants to be.
Same.
But he is here, and you need to learn some new ways to do this. And you're a very bright and worldly guy, and I have no doubt that you can do that. You are a wounded soul. You can't continue to experience this helplessness and this rage. There is very specialized treatment available for survivors of weapons. It's not your average on-the-corner psychologist. There are people that specialize in this. It's a very unique, specialized treatment, and you will be astounded at how it can change the way you feel about you, and how you can feel about trusting yourself, and how you can heal from the pain that you feel. This is T.J. Howard right here, and T.J. Howard is the Director of Operations for Origins Behavioral Healthcare, and they're located on South Padre Island. It is a very sophisticated, gender-specific, age-specific treatment program for men and women that is what's called a dual diagnosis treatment center. If you've been self-medicating, they deal with that, but they deal with all of the other things also, and they will deal with the very specialized care that you need as a survivor of what you've been through with the assault. And this is something that I want you to call time out.
Okay, so this is part 2 in a 2-part episode. In part 1, we learned that Danielle is angry, violent, out of control, getting drunk, getting arrested, doing other drugs, and her father is angry about it, and her family has had enough. They don't know what to do to help her. In this episode, we learned that she was at age 19 by 2 men, and they defiled her body in other ways as well during that encounter, and she has never received justice. It seems like she never received any therapy or any sort of help at all for that afterward, which is strange to me because apparently her family had her in therapy all through childhood, but did not get her any sort of help after this situation. So I'm confused about that, but either way, this is how she's responding to it. She's lashing out, and she has a lot of anger and a lot of rage because she has so much pain and so much trauma, and she said it right there, I hate myself. It's terrible and heartbreaking, honestly, just watching her shake. Like, she was shaking so aggressively, and it broke my heart. I don't know what may have happened to her at an early age. She started hearing voices at age 7. Why? How? Anything happened before that? I don't know, but it's odd that she was just prescribed Ritalin. Why? I don't think her father's Marine approach, I don't think it's helping her. Clearly, getting in her face, yelling, screaming, snapping, like, that's not gonna help when her real problem is that she has trauma, and she needs to work through that, and she needs to start her healing process. So I'm glad that Dr. Phil is gonna get her some help, get her some treatment, and it seems like she really wants it, and I really hope that she can start the healing process and be successful on her healing journey. But what did you guys think about this episode? I told y'all something was going on. I just had a feeling, and now we know there was something going on. What do you think her parents could do to help her that's different from what they've already been doing? Do you agree that yelling and screaming in her face, chasing her down the street, snapping in her face is not helpful? I don't think it's helpful. If you have any suggestions, if you have any experience with anything relating to this that you could provide a perspective on, please by all means let me know. And yeah, drop it in the comments.